Namaste everyone. I am Yogesh Hinduja and I will be your moderator for today's session. The session title is Vaastu Shastra, Science of Creating an Auspicious Living Space. As you all know, that Hindu Center is organizing Singapore Festival of Hinduism for the first time and having 25 events lined up over 10 days. This online festival aims to inform, educate, and spread awareness and is for all Singaporeans to learn about Hinduism. So far, we have covered 10 events from last 4 days, and as part of today, which is the fifth day of the festival, now we are having an interesting topic to cover, which is Vastu Shastra. This session will help us to know various aspects of Vastu Shastra and how we can apply simple techniques to our day-to-day life. Awareness of Vastu can help us to be more happier in our life and enhance our prosperity and health. At the end of the session, we will have clarity about valuable hidden secrets of Vastu science. It's a science which is unknown to the most of the people, including me. And personally, I am really interested to know the various aspects of the whole uh, Vastu science. Today's session will cover the fundamental of Vastu Shastra and how it can be applied to business, health, wealth, education, career, and some tips to take away for home improvement as well. To cover this topic, we are having our today's speaker, Vaastu Acharya Hari Gupta ji. A quick introduction of Vaastu Acharya ji. Gupta ji is a graduate in mechanical engineering and with a postgraduate diploma in computer application and management. Today, he has become a landmark in Vastu Shastra. Vastu Acharya Harida is 55 years old and still works for 7 days a week with 12 to 16 hours in a day, which is quite interesting and inspiring, at least for me. He is fully engaged in business and helping the Hindu community in Singapore. He has solved multiple cases successfully with the help of Vastu science when the logic and mind had come to the dead end. He is consulted by many top businessmen of Singapore and overseas doctors and civil servants. He has started an effort to promote Vedic practices to get people aware of many unknown hidden secrets of Indian ancient knowledge through a platform which is Sanatan Yuga platform. Without further delay, I would like to welcome Vastu Acharya Gupta ji and requesting him to share his extensive Vastu experience with all of us. Gupta ji, over to you.
Namaskar. Namaskar. First of all, I would like to thank Hindu Center for giving the opportunity to share this ancient Hindu treasure. We would like to share what exactly what is Vastu. It is a divine Hindu knowledge which can be used for solving many problems of day-to-day life, be it health, wealth, relationship, or even education. In Hindi, we can say it is disha se dasha badalne ka gyan, which is something like changing destiny with directions. Generally, Vastu is misunderstood by like you have to demolition or you have to break many things. It's not about that. And it's not generic like most of us has heard that do this, do that. But this is a very specific where the problem is defined, why it happens, and what could be its solution. And it is about getting the time bound results. Now, when we talk about disha means directions, most of us knows there are four main directions, which is north, south, east and west. And there are four cardinal directions, which is northeast and northwest and southeast and southwest. We are running through small fundamentals because many of us might not be aware. So just a quick base for those. The other thing which is interesting in this is, which most of us probably might not have thought of, is a law of energy. Long time back in science, it was said that trees and all these things don't have life. But then our one of the scientists proved that they also have the life, which our sages has long time said that we are all of Panch Tattva. Some like trees are one Tattva. There are different animals of two Tattva, three Tattva, four Tattva, and human is five Tattva. So our sages have said that each object has an energy, even it may be wall, it may be statue, it may be picture, so they have energy which could be positive or negative or neutral. So far I think yes, science also is saying that there is atom is having energy, but here it may be surprising to believe that a small statue or a small showpiece or a small item in our home could affect us positively or negatively. Its rules are very similar to mathematics, which every one of us has studied. If we place positive item in a positive zone, it will be good. At the same time, if we place negative item in a negative zone, it will also will be good. But if we put any positive item in a negative zone, it will be bad. And otherwise, same way, if negative item is put in a positive zone, it will be bad. So it's same simple mathematics which we all the way uses. Now, how do we apply? What are the negative items? Normally, like toilets, dustbin, spoken or spoiled or broken items, junk item, storage item, these are considered negative energy items. Then there is one is anti-color, means in Vastu there are 5 elements. So if a color is anti to that particular zone, that could be harmful. And then there is anti-activity. Like for example, there is a water zone, and if we have a kitchen burner there or fire element like electrical main station or something, then it could be disturbing. It can be solved, and it can be solved quite effectively. It doesn't mean that we need to break or relocate or spend a lot of money. There is solution available. Now some of the things, like generally we see, if suppose a flat might be rectangular, it could be the width could be longer or the length could be longer. So sometimes we just assume that the northeast is just the rightmost corner of it, but actually it's not like that. When we put in a compass manner, it's a precise science where each calculation degree has an impact, and as we go in the session we will understand how it impacts us. Now, another thing in this is our sages has defined that each space we live or work is having 16 zones. We understand 8 directions. If we further subdivided them into 16, there are 16 zones which has different attributes. Each zone is related to some aspect of our life, and each zone represents one of the 5 elements. And even our body organs are related to those zones. So sometime if we have problem, we just go through and see how it could be correlated. Out of these 16 zones, there are 13 positive zones and there are only 3 which is negative zones. So what we do is, if we see from this broad diagram, means circle is 360-degree. So if we have 16 zone, each will be 22.5 degrees. So on the top always is north, northeast, northeast, east, northeast. So this way there are 16 zones. Out of this, 13 are positive and 3 are negative. We should understand very clearly the negative zones. There are 3 zones. One of them is south-southwest, another is east-southeast, and another is west-northwest. These 3 zones are considered negative zones. So if we remember the formula, that in negative zone we should not put any positive item, and we can put negative item, like all those items which we were thinking or which we have described as a negative item, they could be here, like toilet or anything which is disturbing could be here. Junk items, useless items, spoil items. Now, how it affects us as a human, this particular zone, south-southwest, this is the most, we can say, the negative area. If a person is sleeping or spending in this or sitting in office in this area, no matter how good he is in the any activity or any skill, the result will be almost zero. A lot of time we might have seen, hey, I do so much thing, I do everything left and right, but still there is no result. Why is it so? There is a possibility that either he is sleeping in this south-southwest zone or he is working in this zone. So if we change his working or sleeping location, the result could be better. It is something like, it's like a barren land. So no matter what seed you put in there, it won't become a tree or fruit or plant. So this is where we have to avoid important things like our albums, mobile phone, computers, important documents like shares or all investment item. We should not keep in these three zones, because positive item in the negative zone, the result will be negative. Now another second negative zone is ESE, east of southeast. This zone, a lot of us are nowadays facing anxiety problem. Anxiety is like, everybody has some issues which we say thinking about the things, but when there is a over churning of it, it becomes over anxious, means the person is too much thinking on a particular thing which it should not be there. So if that problem do exist, the likelihood is the person is spending time either sleeping or working more in this zone. And even a lot of diabetic patients could be related to this particular zone. Now another area is west northwest. It is very common nowadays, we heard that somebody is in depression, in this family so and so person is in depression. This west northwest zone is of the depression or addiction. Sometimes they may have addiction of a particular item. Again, when we say addiction, it means excess of something, too much of that particular thing. It could be smoking or liquor or any other thing which is having too much excess. So likelihood is that that particular person is spending his time in this. Now one of the quickest solution could be, like, if this problem exists, which is very common nowadays, depression or anxiety, so just sleep there, just change their sleeping or working location in the house or office. They may feel better or they may recover from it. Now another important thing in the Vastu is that it is having 5 elements. 5 elements are water, air, fire, space, and earth. This is called Panch Tattva or Panch Mahabhut, means 5 elements. Now each of them has a specific color assigned to it and a specific direction to it. Like water has a blue color, blue or black normally is defined by blue. Air is green, fire is defined by red, space is defined by white, earth is defined by yellow. And they have respective directions also, like water is in north, air is in east, fire is in south, space is in west, and earth is in southwest. These are the directions, broadly speaking. We'll go further down in the specific areas, but these are the correlation of colors, elements, and the directions. Now there is a fundamental law. If we have this 5 element place, the nature or the mother earth, they have a cycle, law of creation and law of destruction. So each element is producing next item. Like say fire will produce earth, earth will produce metal or space. Metal and wood is considered in feng shui. In Vastu is called air and space. So metal is space and wood is air in Vastu. Metal will create water and water will create wood or air, and air will create fire. This is the cycle of creation. When it comes to destruction, each element is destroying the third element. So this is a cycle which our sages has found out long time back, when there was no observations, I mean when there was no equipments, but they defined this. Now we go to the 16 zones which we were talking about. First zone is northeast. It is very important to understand that how each zone affect us. Now this zone is affecting our clarity of mind. A lot of time, some of us will say, I don't know what to do. So whenever there is a doubt or lack of clarity, this northeast zone is affected. Now the best color for this is blue or white. Blue is the main color for this area, but white is because it's a supporting color, it can be done. But colors to avoid here is yellow or red. So if suppose there is a red item here, it may be disturbing. Now the next zone is relaxation and fun. Some of us will say, I have no relax. I want to relax, but somehow I'm not having it. So if this is the case, then their east northeast zone would have been some disturbing item. This could be fixed, then it can be resolved. The next zone is E for east. It affects our social association. Social association means somebody who is very lonely, who don't have friends in life, who don't have any or if a business is not having the customers, then there is a problem in the east zone. The color here is green. For if we see from the hair color codification, this is the air color green, or blue can be the supporting color, but the colors here to avoid is white. Next zone is ESC, which just now we have discussed, is having for anxiety or analysis. Here also the white color is disturbing. Now the next zone is southeast, which is affecting cash liquidity of any person or business. Suppose somebody is facing cash crunch, either in personally or in business, or they are having some accidents, then there is a problem in this particular zone. And here the best color is red or supporting color is green, but the disturbing color here is blue or black. So suppose in this particular zone there is a blue color. It could be like a blue sofa or a blue curtain, or maybe a big water arrow or something like that. So that is disturbing, because even in common life, if there is a water and if there is a fire and you put water on that, fire will get exhausted and the water will evaporate. So that will happen. That is how the disturbance happens. So we just have to look, if there is some bigger item of that color, we could relocate it to the water zone. The next zone is south southeast, which affect our confidence or the power. Many of us will say, I do not have confidence. I know everything, but I don't have a confidence how to do it, or I'm not sure if I can do it. In that case, if the disturbance from this zone, it means that zone is disturbed. If the disturbance can be cleared, the person can be confident. Next zone is south. South is related to fame or relaxation. Sometimes, suppose if there is a bad name because of ABC reason, sometimes it could be because of some action, and sometimes it could be for no action. So if there is a defamation or a lack of relaxation, then the zone affected could be south also. And again, as we said, in the fire zone, if there is anything which is blue or black, it could affect. Next zone is the negative zone, which we discussed, south southwest, which is a wastage zone or expenditure zone. As we discussed that we can have negative items there, we cannot have any positive item here. So yellow is a suitable color here, and the anti color here is green or red. Now one more thing very interesting to note is, in most of our general books available on Vastu or Vastu experts, they say a person must sleep or work in southwest, especially the head of the family. Most of them are not able to demarcate that southwest also consists some area, almost 33%, as the south southwest. So if a person is sleeping or working in that zone, no matter how good he is, there will be no result. So when somebody is following to southwest, kindly ensure that he is not sleeping or working in south-southwest. Next zone is very interesting, which is southwest. Southwest is affecting our relationships or skills. So if somebody is having problem in the family relationships or some skill set, most probably the southwest zone is disturbed. Next to it is west of southwest. This is like, this zone is affecting our education. So if children's, many times we will see, or we might have heard that if a child is saying, whenever I try to study, my mind goes to the watching movie or playing cricket or playing football. So there is a likelihood that in this particular zone there might be TV or a football or a cricket bat. So as whenever he will start studying that, his mind will go to that. So this space is how deeply related to our body and mind. We should understand that. And if we are having books here, his performance, his mind will go into the books, and he will be able to do better in the exams or in studies. Next zone is west, which is gains, related to gains or the profit. So sometimes it happens that we are doing business or job, we have done everything, but still no gains. No gains means it could be because the expenses are more than south-southwest is disturbed, or even after that there is hardly anything which is left over for the person or the family, then this zone might have problem. Next to that is west northwest, which is, we just now discussed, it is relating to depression or negative zone. Even thyroid cases are related to hair. So we have to balance this. Next particular zone is northwest zone. This is related to support and banking. So if somebody is facing problem from the bank, or somebody is having a lack of support in the staff or team or customers, then this zone might be related to it. Again, this zone also is having earth element, so is yellow color. Next to it is northwest zone, which is related to our attraction or the sex life. Here the ideal color is blue color, supporting color is white, and the disturbing colors are yellow and red. North is related to money and opportunity. So sometimes we feel that we are not getting any clients, or we are not getting any proposals, whether it is for any project or business, or even for, say, there is a child to get married, there is no proposal, or if somebody is doing business, I do not have clients. So this zone might be disturbed. Next zone is north of northeast. This is related to health zone. So if there is some issue with the health, then this zone might be disturbed. So this was a brief overview of like how the zones affect our particular area of line, which colors are suitable there and which colors are avoidable there. Now, how do we uh, find which direction is there? Most of us are having the compass in the phone. They can load it, and this compass can give us a direction that where is north, where is east, where is south, and they are having all the 16 zones. It could be there. There are different compasses. Some shows eight zones, some shows 16 zones. So load a one which is 16 showing the zones, so that we can identify, and we always has to take the reference from a center point, so that we can it's not from outside. Many times people start taking the direction from outside the home or flat, so it has to be taken from center of the place, whether it is office or home. So just capturing back, because I think one of the main issue is how the Vastu can help us in getting wealthier. So for wealth, most of the time we need cash flow. If the cash flow is not there, we won't be wealthy. So for recapping that, this is the southeast zone, and in this southeast zone, there should be no blue, black, or silver item. There should not be any mirror or water items there. No toilet, no dustbin, no spoil item, even no deities except Durga or Lakshmi. So these are the things which we should not have here. And what we could have here is the red color item or green item there, or if suppose some god is to be put, it could be either Lakshmi or Durga only. Now coming to the another one related to the wealth is the money or the opportunity, because when the opportunity will come, money will come and cash flow will come. So here north is a water zone. So in this there should not be any red color item. When we say not red color item means the big ones. Small item doesn't make much difference, but bigger items sometimes like big curtain or big furniture or big or even the paint of the room could be there. Same, no spoil item, no toilet, no kitchen burner, because burner represents fire or electric mains represent fire. So if they are there, it disturbs. We will run through how to resolve those. We need not to break them. And what we can do is we can keep the blue or black or silver items here. So if they are in the fire zone, we can just relocate to there. And if here is the any red color item, we relocate to the fire zone. So that is simple relocation, which can help us a lot in solving if our problem. First thing is, what is the problem? Client is not there or client is there, but then they are not doing the transaction. So accordingly, we have to identify. That is why we say it is a exact problem identification. Why? And then removing the disturbance. All Vastu is all about balancing. So wherever, whether it is short or excess, we need to correct that. And that is what we do in this. Now coming to the next topic was, because time is quite short, so I'm just quickly running through it. It's about health. Many people will surprise that how come Vastu could be related to the health. Many of us will know something about Ayurveda. Ayurveda also is having, they have three kinds of type of problems. One is called Vat, Pitta and Kapha. And as per Ayurveda also, they also happen, their basics is also 5 elements. So if there is a imbalance in any combination of 2 items, this kind of vikar or the problems happen, and which relates to our sickness. So it is interesting to know that our body also or our health also could be deeply connected with the Vastu. We go slightly in detail in the same chart which we seen just now. If there's somebody is having pericardium, this is how the organs are related with our zones. So if somebody is having pericardium related problem, it will be northeast problem. If somebody is having a cancer patient, 90% cases are there northeast having problem. If somebody is having brain related problem or brain tumor or something there, they have problem in the northeast. If somebody is having circulation related problem, then it is east northeast. If a liver related problem is there, then it is east. If it is gallbladder related, then it is southeast. If it is spleen related problem, it will be south southeast. If it is stomach related problem, it will be south southwest. If it is a heart related problem, it will be southwest. There are a lot of cases we know about heart attacks. It can happen anytime to anybody, and there has been quite a number of increase in those kind of cases. It is interesting to note that a lot of them, if somebody checks their house, that in southwest there will be like toilet or big green color item or lawn or something similar to that. And this zone is also related to the Wherever there are like family disturbances, disputes, or even divorce level, there is a very good likelihood that this zone is having green color item or plants, or even there might be artificial scenery kind of thing of green color or big green objects. Then the relationship problems happen. A lot of divorce cases can be patched back if we just fix this zone of southwest. Now coming to the west, if somebody is having lung related problem, it will be disturbance of the west. If it is colon related, then west northwest. If it is small intestine, will be northwest. If it is U bladder, then north northwest. And if kidney, a lot of nowadays problems are in kidney, it will be related to north of northeast. So I mean, our sages has defined that the even the body organ problems can be correlated with the Vastu or the Vastu zones. So summarizing here for the health related issues, this north northeast is a water zone. So we should not have red items here or fire related like oven or burner or electric mains item. No toilet or dustbin, no spoil item. And what could be there is like blue or black items could be there. And we can, if somebody are sick or sick in the family, the medicine can be kept in this particular zone, because this zone, sometimes we might have seen one or another person is sick in the family, or person gets sick, get cured, then again sick. So something like this kind of repeated problems, then the chances are very high that his north northeast zone is disturbed. So what we should do is we should clear about north northeast, definitely northeast, because a lot of problem are related to brain or mind or mindset related. Southwest, and we should not keep Guru or Shiva in northeast or southwest. Now for relationship, just now we were discussing about, so we go a little bit more deeper. Southwest, it should not have green color, no spoil item, no kitchen burner, no electric mains, no deities. And a lot of time our families has our ancestral pics also. So the only place where they could put the ancestor picture is in the southwest zone. And if we place a happy family pic here, the relationship among the family members will be good here. But kindly ensure that is not having the green background or the green colors, uh, uh, green dresses or background kind of things. Now coming to the briefly taking on the education, this next to the southwest is west southwest. So here also no green color, no spoil item, no TV, no toys, no sport item, no electric mains or kitchen burner. What we should do is we should keep textbooks here, and if you put the Saraswati idol either of brass or clay in this zone, it will help your children. I think very easily they can get around 5%, 5 to 10% more marks with the same effort. So that is how the beauty is. Even for 1% people are struggling like anything. A lot of time they lose admissions or they are not able to do better. They stuck at some borderline kind of situation. So if this is done, it can help them a lot. Now what we should do, like a lot of cases in the positive zones, there are 13 positive zones and there is a good likelihood that there might be toilet there. So it is very difficult in the flats or rented flats that toilet could be relocated. So what could be done? There is the way to control the negative energy by means of tapes. Actually, later on, tapes is a interim measure to test and fix this problem. It is something like a Lakshman Rekha. So we have 5 elements of 5 different colors, and we can use accordingly a tape which are available on ordinary stationery shops or paint shops. around 2 inch wide, and we have to place them in specific color or specific manner to control that negative energy. So sometime in our holy books we read that Lakshmanji has put a Lakshman Rekha that Sita should not go around it, outside it. So, but she went still. So it was a story, but even in day-to-day life, we can control very effectively the negative energies from these objects in our homes and lives, and we can be more happier and prosper. Now, one more quickly, I touch base on entries. I mean, entries of the home or office affect us in positive or negative manner, whether it is home or office or city. So what happens is there are few confusions among circulating that north and east generally entries are good, while west and south are bad. Then there is a conception that sun always rises in the east, but in our detailing, east is also few types: northeast, east northeast, southeast, and east southeast. So which one is east we are referring to? And it's not always at the what location. So it depending on the weather and the year's position, it could be in anywhere. And I think there are few other things like sleeping facing this direction is good or bad, or place something in home and you will get benefit. The important is where we should place it. It should be in a right zone. That is most important. So what we do is, that was the myth, but reality, what is the reality? Even in west and the south there are good entries. What we do is, our science is very detailed. People talk about 4 direction. We talk about, when the entry is concerned, when the space is concerned, we talk about 16 zone. When the entries are concerned, we talk about 32 possible entries, and each entry has a different effect on the people who are living in. So each direction, whether it is east, north, west, south, is divided into further 8 directions. So it will become only 11.25 degree. Generally, in each direction, 2 are very good, and rest are either normal or very bad also. So even in south, we can see this chart. The red mark entries are negative entries. So if we can see in the east, E1 and E8 is negative, while N1 is also negative. N1, if there are suicidal tendencies in somebody's, some person in a family, the likelihood is his entry might be first section, like N1 entry could be there. If there are like fire accidents kind of thing, so east first section could be that, or accidents are there, the entry could fall in E1. So see how detailed our Vastu is. The entries are defined in 32 possible combinations. Sometimes if the uh, daughter is not following the family tradition, there is a possibility the house entry might be N7. There is a good possibility. So each of them has been so detailed, and it's not only the main entry, it could be the back entry, and even the stairs which are falling are considered as entries. So our Vastu is very detailed, and they have a exact reason and exact solution for that. Again, to change entries are not possible, but as we discussed that the negative entries could, their effects could be blocked. Like in south, S5, S6, S7 are the waste, like very bad entries, but S3 and S4 is good entry. In west also, W3 and W4 is good entry. So it's not that, like if you go along a roadside, that all the shops which are facing south are bad. It depends. If their entry is S3 or S4, they will be very prosperous. But if they are in S5 or S6 or S7, they will be very bad. So this is how detailed our Vastu science is. Again, it is a bit hard. We spend millions to buy land and then multi-millions to do a good construction of building. Even we pay very good money to the architects, 4 to 6% depending on the place and the country. We pay huge to do interior decorations and idea designers. Sometimes we buy paintings and masterpieces for millions, but we put them in wrong zone. We generally factor view or cost savings or various is energy saving or this and that kind of thing. But all these are something like when somebody is going to get married to a daughter or a girl, she may be very good looking, but she may have good dresses or good looking, but she may not have what we call that gun, means love, relationship, and family values. So the house may look very beautiful, but in fact, it might be the reason for many of the problems we are going through, and we never know that these problems are because of this. So sometimes we are paying ourselves to invite the problems. So that is the hard but truth, fact of our life. Quickly, some of the things about the temple. Most of houses has temples and the gods. So just be careful. Think if you invite maybe 5 or 10 minister to your home and you are not able to give attention to one, what will happen? Or suppose if you give a wrong seat to a minister, say you ask them to give a PN seat or a driver seat, will they be happy? So in this case, a lot of time, either due to lack of knowledge, we end up in wrong steps which could affect pictures or statues or deities in either metal or any form. They are very effective. They can help us also, and if put wrongly, can affect us also badly also. Like for example, quickly, if there is a guru means any Buddha or Sai Baba or Christ, those who are in living form, they has to put in the west, or any spiritual master, their picture or statue should be only west, while those which are divine deities like Krishna or Ramchandra ji, they had to put in the northeast. We should not use mixing deities nowadays because of graphics or anything. A lot of time they make few gods combine into one. Each god is different, their characteristics are different, they have different traits. So don't use the mixed deities kind of pictures or statues. Do not put too many deities in your temple or home. Excess of even gods may create imbalance in the life. Those whom you really worship, just put that. Even one god you do, that is good enough. That can fulfill all of your wishes and good thing. Place them in a right place. I think that is done. No point of having a grocery store kind of thing in your temple. In northeast, please avoid red color. To sometimes we put red clothes or kind of things, so that one it is better to avoid there. Summarizing, I think the time is running out. Is Vastu a science? Many times is asked. From my opinion, saying Vastu is science is an insult to Vastu, because what we are talking about, the science hardly knows it. Long time back, if we see about 20-30 years back, GPS was not existing, so nobody would believe that we can track the people or karma or anything. But in our ancient sages, that each of our karma is recorded by Chitragupta, and there is a, like a action has a reaction, every karma has its result also. So same way our Vastu is so detailed that it is, science has yet to reach there. So this is I think and for me, I mean, with this knowledge itself, I was fortunate enough to meet our Honorable Prime Minister also about this. And here, I would like to thank you very much for time and attention which you have given. I try to share a little bit which I know, which my guru has blessed me, which can help all of us for better life. And questions are welcome now.
Yeah, Acharya ji, it's really a very good insight information which you have given about the overall Vastu. Looks like it is too complex, but we got a couple of questions, and I combined couple of questions together. As we all know that the modern day where we are not building the house, even for Singapore, it is something that we already get the raw structure, the full blown building. The house is already there. Now, if we want to go via Vastu, do you recommend or suggest any kind of Vastu inspection or assessment before really moving out to the house, to the new house, or is this something which we need to do? How, because we can't change the structural aspect of the home, right? Now, what are the best way, considering the whatever is, suppose there is a Vastu dosha in that, how we can actually address it? So how the whether Vastu inspection you are recommending or Vastu assessment you are recommending, how to address that?
Sure. I think it's a very good question. It is always said prevention is better than cure. So a lot of time mistake has happened that person
Gupta,
has.
Gupta, you can stop sharing the screen
Okay,
because then
just one. Yeah.
yeah.
Uh, Prevention is better than cure. So it is always better because house cost a lot, especially if you're buying. So you don't buy house every now and then, and you don't change very frequently. So it is better to take the advice first, so that if there is any critical dosh, it could, I mean, out of available choices, a better house could be selected, especially the person or the family if the problem is going on. And it is a fact that no matter we change house or city or even country, the our karma cycle gives us similar houses normally. So if we get advice before, it will be better. And once it is cured, then the next house is better. So it is always advisable to have a assessment first. So if some, like I remember one of the very common case here, somebody took a office, and then once he has done it, then he asked me. Now the problem is there at that time. It is very difficult to say it is having problem because the person has already taken it. But the person was very close, and I realized since he has asked me already, I should tell him. So I told him this is this problem. I sent him by message because the broker was also there. So now you take your decision. I mean, whatever you want to do. Somehow he took that, but within I think 3 4 months itself, even now he is holding that place, and he has to took some another place. And so I mean, it is always better to take a advice first rather than go. And as far as the things are concerned, majority of the faults can be fixed, but there are few faults which really are not able to fix, like northeast problem. The success rate is lower there. Or if a dasha is active of a person, and if we take that kind of house, so the consultant can evaluate it and give a better choice among whatever 3 4 choices are available. So accordingly, it is better to take advice first if possible.
All right, we are having another interesting question. You just mentioned in your session that it is harmful to have the Brahma statue in the house. So, what are your views? Is this something, because you said that mixing of the god should not be at one place, but
Okay, I did not say Brahma statue is not good. I said sometimes there are like if you see the net, there are pictures which might include few deities into one place. So that I was saying, trying to avoid that. I mean, like within one body, they might have 2 3 kind of different kind of pictures because of probably creativity or something. So each lord is a individual lord, and we should respect them in their original form without disturbing.
okay. So, as per the Vastu point of view, the Brahma picture or a statue can be in the house as well, right?
Okay, the thing is, first of all, I mean, each lord has a specific place. Like we talk about 16 zones, so each has a different place to place. So accordingly, any deity, if you place in a right direction, right zone, will be helpful. If it is in a negative zone, and again, it is related to astro effects also. Like we have a planetary dasha moving on, so sometimes we have to analyze that also to avoid a problem or to solve a problem. So I mean, it's not a thumb rule that every lot at every point of time is beneficial to us. So
Mhm.
sometimes we have to evaluate that and accordingly take the decision.
All right. We got one more interesting question. There are a couple of few which we will take based on the time. It says that, well, earlier when I moved to the house, everything went well, the family was happy, healthy, and whatnot, the prosperity was there. But all of the sudden, maybe after a few years down the road, uh, everything changed, the positivity changed to negativity. So the same house earlier was working with the right set of Vastu, that's why it is giving good benefits. Now, suddenly, what has changed in terms of everything get converted into negative energy?
Sure. Let's correlate this with our real life issue, like whenever we have a short circuit in our home. So something all of a sudden the whole house light goes off. What happens is you have main DB, you have small DB, and you have the room switch. But when some problem happen, I mean, all of the light is gone. So all are tripped. So what you do is you switch back, close all of them and find a solution. Just now I mentioned that there is a very close interlinking of dasha also. Each of us has born at different time. So what happens is like each is running through a different dasha. And when those all dB like space and the planetary combination arise, then the event happens. So it happens to one particular person at that particular point of time. So even though they might be living there for some time, same, it might not have happened in the past, but as soon as the planetary dasha becomes favorable, it is activated. So then it may have accident or it may have a divorce or it may have something because the planetary combination is allowing that. Before that, it was not allowing. So that is where the things happen.
So, how what is the remedy for? We need to again go for the Vastu inspection or assessment, or
Okay, one of the very common, one of the very fundamental rule is if the things are good in life, don't change anything. So that is the first rule. So if everything is right, your Vastu is perfect. But if there is a problem, say X problem, then we have to identify that this problem is there. Like when suppose somebody is having a heart problem, so he will go to the first maybe doctor and then to the specialist and then get resolved, or brain problem related to the same thing is here. If whatever is the problem, accordingly we have to find the zone and fix the solution.
okay, got it. The next question, actually, two questions together. So, is there a remedy for swimming pool in the southwest? That is first question from the same viewer. And second is, how do we deal with the split levels? Vastu was developed on a single level homes.
Okay, as far as the split level is concerned, each floor is taken as a separate floor and the Vastu is calculated like that. So if suppose you have a duplex house, the map will be made for the ground floor or the first floor or whatever number of floors are there. It will be taken for all the floors. And usually the person who is spending more time in which floor, one is like flat or means the land, then is the built up area. So generally it is taken built up area. And if suppose there are 4 floors in the building and the person family is living only on the second floor, so we have to take for the second floor only. But if there is a joint family where they are living, they have a common kitchen maybe on the first floor and they one brother is staying on the second and third. So accordingly we have to analyze and see which one is relevant.
Okay. And what about the swimming pool? If swimming pool is in
Okay,
southeast, then
okay, first of all, as I said, we have to find the problem. It's not that the swimming pool or the water in means the pool in the southwest might have problem. If they have some problem related to relationship or the skills, then southwest is disturbed. Otherwise, everything is right. So if the problem is what is the problem, the first thing is what is the problem. So if this gentleman who has asked the problem, if he can define what is the problem, then we can say this zone he must check. Otherwise everything is right.
all right. Okay.
But
You talk.
southwest generally green color or the toilet or the plants will affect the family relationship.
Mhm. Okay.
Or if the pool is of green color, then their family problem might be there. If there are too many plants and greenery there, then it could affect either the relationship or the skill or the heart.
All right. Okay, we can take two more questions. So we are having a couple of questions here. Now, you talked about the different direction is having a significance of different color, right? Because every direction is having its own specific color for the specific area. Now, while we are talking about we can't do the structure changes to our house, is there a possibility that we can actually just paint a wall with that specific color, which is that particular direction wall, and that actually resolve some of the problems or maybe convert the negative energies to positive vibes?
Okay, the thing is, we need not to paint. First of all, the color is not related to the direction. Colors is related to the zones.
Okay.
So each zone has a different color, but it doesn't mean that we will, if we are in the water zone, we will paint the room into blue. No. If you are very neutral, color is off white or like light cream kind of color is neutral. It fits everywhere. But suppose if there is a, if the disturbing color, like say for example in fire zone, if we are having blue color, then it is problematic. Then of course we have to repaint it.
Okay.
And repainting to a off cream also is also okay, off white kind of thing. So I mean generally the off white is considered a neutral color in most of the cases.
Okay.
Only if there is a imbalance, like say in southwest is green or in north side is red, then we have to repaint it.
Okay, so yeah, so the specific question whether the repainting actually helps in the Vastu science or not, that is what the question. So I think repainting can help based on the problem which
Yes.
anybody is
If
facing.
it is disturbing to a specific zone, then repainting will help.
All right. The last question which we can take based on the interest of time, is there a good reference on Vastu for home that you can recommend which people can read and get the reference out of it?
Okay, the thing is, most of the Vastu references were created long back, and it is little bit cumbersome for the people to understand and decipher that in today's context, like what we are talking about today. And there is a lot of stuff available on the Vastu and internet, but most of that is very generic kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean this is something like when you practice you get into details. I'll try to see if I can document something on that.
Okay. So now we are already on top of the hour. Just wanted to have a couple of minutes spent in terms of what is the key takeaway which all our viewers should take with the session, because though it's a science which require a lot of knowledge and experience and awareness to go into it and practice it, like you are a practicing Vastu Shastra Acharya. So what is the key takeaway for people who are attending that session, which after finishing that session, how they can actually get benefited out of it, be it on a health side or a wealth side, or maybe the peace, whatever we can say. However, people are having a challenges. How, what is a, moral of the whole story for today's session, that the key takeaway for this, considering somebody gets stuck somewhere and then want to approach, want to have a right direction, right guidance. What is the key takeaway from here on?
Okay, basically Vastu is balancing of five elements. So I mean it is about balancing whether, and it is general also, like when we are balanced, our health is right, our wealth is right. So it's about balancing. And of course in the whole session we have shared quite a number of things which can help in various aspects. Probably if go through this, I think there will be quite a number of things which could help depending on what problem is
Mhm.
there, and then they could find the relative zone and they can do the adjustment over there. So I think that that can help them.
Okay, got it.
And they should understand that this ancient Hindu science also can help them in many places where our logical science comes to a dead end.
Mhm. Yeah, even the during the introduction, that is something which I started with that, because when the mind goes out of the way, then we can still, there is something behind it. All right, with that, we are going for the end of this session. And really, thanks a lot, Acharyaji, to give the inside information about this. I would like to say thanks to all our event viewers as well as the live streaming attendees. Um, I'm having a couple of slides to talk about. Just all right. So as we all know, probably we may know, and then um Hindu Center is in Singapore, serving Singapore society from past many years under three broader pillars which we are having, which is Jnana, Bhakti, and Seva. Under that, we are having a various programs and projects which we are running from past many years, where number of volunteers are working day in day out to make all the programs successful and serve the community in a better way. Like in Jnana, we are having multiple classes because Jnana stands for the awareness, and that's why all these different projects we are having our initiatives which we are having for the awareness side. Bhakti talk about more of a monthly bhajans, different kind of prayers which we are having, Hanuman Chalisa, mass chanting as well. The Seva is something which we are actually serving to the society by various volunteers and having a two big mega initiatives which we are having, which is Mitra Prison Counseling as well as the Chakra program for the youth offenders. So as you can see that there are many activities which Hindu Center is doing, and then we definitely seek your help or support in terms of being a volunteer for all these projects. Are based on your interest, you can go into the specific project and then contribute there. Or if you want to have any kind of financial support, then you can also help us in terms of the financial support by monthly contribution. There are various ways which we are having. So all kind of supports are really welcome, and Hindu Center encourage both from the time perspective, your commitment perspective, as well as the financial support. Every single thing value to us, and I request you to please engage us in a better way to contribute and serve the society in a much more broader perspective. At times, you may want to have some information, but you can't seek it and you can't get it. So we are having a WhatsApp group where you can get all those regular updates from our side, and that actually help you to get more and more updated information in terms of what is going on and what are the new projects and initiatives which we are doing. So that actually help you, and that's why if you want to subscribe and want to know more about Hindu Center and the other activities which what Hindu Center is doing, you can just send a message to this WhatsApp number, and then we will get connect with you. As I said that there are total 10 days of festival celebration under this festival. And then just look at the Tuesday, which we just finished the 4:30 session for Vastu. We are having one more session at 7 p.m. today, which is significance of Hindu rituals. So please attend that as well. And then this is what the whole calendar for rest of the sessions which we are having. We are not even halfway through, as we are having 25 such sessions. We are, this is something is the 11th session, so we are not even halfway through. So please attend the 7 p.m. session as well. Now we can go for the closing prayers.
ॐ सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः.
Once again, thank you everyone for attending this session. Really, your contribution to active participation on the Q&A is really helpful for us to make this session more live and more active. Thanks a lot, Acharya for giving the insight for such a wonderful session on Vastu Science.
Thank you very much.
Namaste.
Namaste.